It's not the end of me playing Spider-Man. There's definitely more to come. I sat down with some of our creatives and we pitched Spider-Man 3, which is going to be something very special, something very different. And you know, I'm just so grateful that Marvel changed my life and allowed my dreams to come true. And Sony are allowing me to continue living my dream. So, you know, it's a crazy thing, and it's never been done before, but we'll see how it goes, and it'll be as amazing and as fun.
So it's been a long week, as Tom Holland said just after Disney 23 last weekend. So what is good, YouTube? Warshu here. So the most requested video I've had in the last 7 days in my Instagram DMs, in my Twitter DMs, in my comment section, in literally every video I've done that isn't Spider-Man, people keep asking for Spider-Man related updates, which is very interesting because before this, people were not interested in the Spider-Man 3 videos I was putting out. But as soon as there's some litigations or some story on Google Trends that Spider-Man is out of the MCU, when realistically, guys, there is still no evidence. The video clip I played before the video started, he said he's still Spider-Man. They're working on Spider-Man 3 with the creative team, not Sony. It is very interesting how people still believe that Spider-Man is out of the MCU when no one's even said that. Literally every interview, no one is saying Spider-Man is out of the MCU. So at the 100,000 subscriber mark, I will be giving away Spider-Man PS4 Game of the Year edition because damn, that game was so good that it got Game of the Year. Not many games get Game of the Year, God of War, etc. Not many games have had the prestige award of Game of the Year edition. Or Gears of War 5 with an Xbox One X. But guys, this is when we hit 100,000 subscribers. So the faster you hit that subscribe button, the sooner I can give away this prize. And EndGame comes out on the 2nd of September in England. So I will be giving away the first EndGame prize this coming Friday. So all you got to do is subscribe to the channel and let me know down below. Why should I pick you? So it's been a very strange week for Marvel content. For the Marvel community, so to speak. We got Moon Knight, we got She-Hulk, we got Miss Marvel. We got Black Panther 2 release date. But guys, they were all in the leaks, like literally. I was speaking to some insiders and they were like, yeah, Disney 23 was cool. And I was like, no, it really wasn't, guys, because everything was leaked. Literally, everything was leaked. So it is interesting that Spider-Man news essentially crushed Kevin Feige's Disney 23 because everyone wanted to know what was going on with Spider-Man. Now, if you go on YouTube, literally every single video, I've seen over 100 recommended videos. And to be honest, guys, most of them are from the same channel. Like, there's so many Spider-Man videos going around. So we're just going to clarify what is up and what is good, YouTube, and what is up, YouTube. So let's get into it, because this is requested. I don't want to keep making updates until either Sony or Marvel officially comes out and says something. But I make videos for people who want content, and this is the content you guys want. So what is good? So essentially, is Spider-Man out of the MCU? No one knows. Is Spider-Man 3 going to continue the Spider-Man Far From Home storyline? Yeah, sure, that will still continue. Like I said, Sony is not going to be sued by Marvel if they continue with the storyline that their Spider-Man character was in. It just won't happen. So either way, Spider-Man 3 is going to start with Spider-Man being exposed. Plain and simple. So, is Spider-Man video game going to be pulled out of the PlayStation 4? No, I'm seeing some ludicrous videos, ludicrous content saying Marvel is going to pull Spider-Man PS4 from the PlayStation. Well, for starters, they can't do that. That game sold over 13.5 million copies as of June. Now they're just releasing the Game of the Year edition. It will sell even more. Disney likes money. They can't make their own video games, so they went to Insomniac Games, who make Ratchet and Clank. Very, very good game. Very, very good game. Immense game. So as you've played Spider-Man PS4, it's not just one of the best comic book games. It is one of the best games, period. It is up there with God of War, guys, so don't worry. I'm here to take you away from the misleading titles, the misleading headlines. Spider-Man PS4 is not going anywhere. we will get at least a sequel because the MCU deal has nothing to do with the video game world. So we've squashed the theory, we've squashed the rumor, we've addressed the rumor. It's not going to affect Spider-Man being on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, depending on which console the sequel to SpiderMan PS4 comes out on. Cool. So there's a lot of rumors going around that there's talk about a new deal. But if you look at the substance, guys, there is no substance. Yes, I've been told things, I've heard things, but officially no one's allowed to say anything. So there's multiple websites, I'm not going to say any, like at least 5 to 10 websites. Just Google Spider-Man New Deal and you'll see multiple websites. And it's all coming from the Keystone Comic-Con, which is literally the day after Disney 23. So it isn't new news, guys, because they're trying to work a new deal out. Sony said that. We've only realistically had official news from Sony. Sony said they're sad that Marvel doesn't want to continue to work with them. They couldn't come to new terms and conditions. But Sony put out there saying, we hope we can work with them in the future. So the deal isn't over at the moment. Now, people were saying Spider-Man 3 is being rushed. I've even seen some people claiming the movie comes out 2021 summer. Really? Come on. 2019? No. I mean, realistically, yes, they would have to start shooting by the middle of 2020. But no one's come out and said, we are making Spider-Man 3 in 2021 and Tom Holland is going up against Tom Hardy Venom. But a lot of people are saying that because there's the rumor going around that Peter Parker, Tom Holland, was going to be in the Venom movie, but Marvel pulled it because that will make Peter Parker MCU in the Venom verse or the Sony verse or the SpiderVerse. But that's kind of like neither here or there, even if it is true, because it was Peter Parker, it wasn't Spider-Man. Obviously, they changed the origin story in the Venom movie for Venom. He had no attachment to Spider-Man. He didn't come down. The symbiote didn't come down from, I guess you say, outer space. So it is interesting, guys. So yeah, potentially there is a new deal. But Tom Holland said himself, he does not know what the future is for Spider-Man. He knows that he is Spider-Man. Regardless to what universe, what company makes it, it's always been Sony owned as soon as they bought the rights. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man in the movieverse. As long as they keep making a new Spider-Man movie every 2 to 3 years, that's why you can make a judgment there will be a Spider-Man movie by 2021, 2022. So it's very interesting, guys. Kevin Feige has not confirmed anything. All he said is it was never going to be forever, implying the original deal was for obviously 3 standalone Spider-Man movies and 3 team-up movies. So that is what he meant by when he said it was never going to be forever. A lot of people have taken what Mr. Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios, said out of context like they always do. Kevin Feige never said that. He only said that, and Kevin Feige is so passionate about Spider-Man. I mean, if I can find the clip, I will pull it up. There's a clip of where Kevin Feige says that Spider-Man is the greatest superhero and he's the most important superhero to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I guarantee you, Mr. Bob Iger, although there are websites reporting that Bob Iger will be stepping down in the next few years, they are pushing hard behind the scenes and they will back down. I guarantee it, guys. They will back down. They do not want to lose Spider-Man in the MCU. Why? This isn't even about the movie world. This is about merchandise sales. If Spider-Man isn't in the MCU, which at the moment, guys, there is absolutely no evidence to suggest he isn't, and if there is, please tell me down below, because at the moment, I've literally scoured the internet for hours. I mean, Spider-Man's still trending on Google Trends. Obviously, it's gone down a bit, but there's absolutely no factual, concrete evidence to make me believe that Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU. They will be pushing hard behind the scenes. Yes, I think a 5% cut is a bit unfair, but what most people don't realize is Disney, Marvel make $1.3 billion annually every single year in Spider-Man merchandise. Sony had the Spider-Man merchandise rights until 2011, and then for some reason they decided to sell the merchandise rights. So Marvel makes more money on Spider-Man toy sales than Sony would ever make in the movies. But yes, I do agree. I do believe the cut should be greater. It should be more like 25% to 75%. It should not be 5%. Yeah, it should be more. But they in the initial kind of deals and I guess you could say contract that broke down, deadline kind of broke. They did say they wanted to financially co-finance it, but a lot of that was to do with them getting their hands on the 900 other characters that Sony owns, like Kraven the Hunter and the Sinister Six and stuff like that. So that is why we didn't get the Oscorp scene in Spider-Man Far From Home. It was filmed, I've been told, by multiple sources. I've been told by the most reliable source on the internet. Obviously, guys, there's no point me saying who it is, but if you follow me on Twitter, you know who I'm on about. So it is interesting. So guys, there is no Spider-Man new deal at the moment, okay? This is just discussion-based. But it does not mean Spider-Man is not in the MCU. And even if he isn't in the MCU, guys, there will be massive crossover. There will be connections to the MCU. And we are telling you the honest truth, guys, that no one knows anything. And even if someone does know something, they are not saying anything. I don't think people like Jeremy Renner should say, give us Spider-Man back. Spider-Man has always been a Sony character since they bought him literally years ago. So people like Jeremy Renner going, give us Spider-Man back. No, that doesn't make any sense because Spider-Man is a Sony character. Yes, the MCU. Yes, Marvel Studios did cast Tom Holland. But at the end of the day, it is financed by Sony. So guess what, guys? Spoiler warning. Tom Holland is paid. I'll repeat this, guys. He is paid by Sony, not Marvel. So yes, Marvel might have casted him, but he's paid by Sony. Sony pays for the press tour, Sony pays for marketing, Sony pays to make the movie. So it is a Sony movie. So even if it is like Far From Home, it is technically a Sony movie in my opinion because they make it, they pay for it. Marvel just make the storyline, I guess you could say, and they film it and stuff. But yeah, which is kind of important, I guess. But it is all Sony. So guys, stop worrying, stop freaking out. Stop saying that Spider-Man isn't in the MCU because at the moment, guys, there is no factual information anywhere that I can find. So Spider-Man is in the MCU, there could be a new deal, and Spider-Man PS4 is not going anywhere. Stop listening to misleading headlines, guys. You know I'm one of the most honest channels there is on YouTube. Just listen to what I say correctly and don't misinterpret what I say. So like always, guys, this is an update video on the latest news from Spider-Man still being in the MCU, in my opinion, opinion-based, because there's not really any evidence anyone can go by, but the evidence does suggest that there is still something going on behind the scenes. Telling people at Keystone Comic-Con they're not allowed to ask Spider-Man questions, then come out talking about Spider-Man 3, it's a bit fishy. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch you in that next video very soon. Catch you later.